Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Glad to have you for another week of our ninth iteration of this weekly call. Appreciate all those to attend and those who will attend and join over the next 20 to 30-ish minutes probably, as I know we usually see a lot of users kind of pile in over time, and that's okay. Just make sure that you guys don't join too late. Otherwise, you won't have enough listening time to claim the oat for today. So listen in for 20 minutes to claim your Galaxy Radio listeners out. Apologies. It's a bit early where I am. It's 7 a.m. I hope it's not too late for any of you guys or too early. If you guys want to chat, we have the radio chat, and then there's also the in-stage chat that a lot of you are in right now. I see Halal. I'm so proud to be here. Corky, what's up? Exits, nice to see you. Layloon, of course. Today, as usual, same format. We're going live with a guest first, and then after the guest portion, it will sound like we're finished, but we're not finished. We're going to stay on for a bit longer, and I'm going to talk to you guys one-on-one, just me to you. So, and with that, today we have Edmund or Eshi as your Discord. Do you go by Edmund or Eshi, or just want to make sure you have your name right?
Edmund? Or you can call me Eddie.
Eddie? Okay, perfect. Awesome. We have Eddie from Avault. Recently, we have had so many, I've seen so many things around Omnichain pop up. So I'm interested to hear. I've been hearing so much about Omnichain. I'm getting each and every bit and piece of the puzzle. So I've been learning a lot. So I appreciate you coming on today, Eddie. And let's just dive into it. Could you give us an intro to yourself a bit and what you do with Avault?
Absolutely. So it is quite early here in Vancouver. So it's 6 a.m.
Oh, you're earlier than me. Yeah, I'm in Calgary. So.
Oh, nice. So thank you so much for having me here. My name is Eddie, and I'm a core member in Avault. So just drop in a little bit about what Avault does. So basically, we help users to cross their asset from different chains. Think of us as a disruptive way to interact with an array of different dApps. If you're OG here, you might already know how to do that, but it might take you too much effort because you have to simultaneously prepare two gas fee. And if you're new, then you probably have no idea how to do that. So that's where Avault comes in. So basically, we brand ourselves as an omni-chain yield service platform. So traditionally, to do a cross-chain operation, it could cost you about somewhere between 20 to 30 minutes. But with Avault, we can help you reduce that to about 1 minute of cross-chain operation. So
exciting.
Yeah. So we firmly believe that Avault can develop into a boutique dApp supermarket. So basically help people think about what they really want to do with their asset instead of how do I go from chain A to chain B.
More so, I need to trade this for this and not make it something that's a problem, because sometimes bridging just, honestly, for a long time up until now, like there's some good bridges now, but like back in the day, it was just like so rough. So I definitely believe the future is Omnichain for sure. And it's been nice to get a lot of these. So is Avault a newer project? How long has Avault been around at this point? How long have you guys been in action?
Actually, not that long. We only started the project, I think, around March or April last year, and since then we were only on Astar, and it was not until I think December last year that we started to expand it into the omni-chain scope. So
nice, yeah. We've been about a year and a half ourselves. It should be 2 years in. Actually, no, I'd say like a year and 3/4. It should be around May. Will be the second year for us. Yeah. So it's been a long journey for sure. We're I guess you couldn't really call us omni-chain, but more so chain agnostic, as we would like to have access to for everybody to complete Galaxy campaigns on every chain possible, right? So in a way, we're kindred spirits projects wise, and we're glad to work with you guys. But before we go a bit more into Avault, when it comes to yourself, working with Avault, is this your first kind of soiree into working in crypto, or did you find yourself working in crypto for a longer period of time, or was this something like newer to you?
This is definitely something newer to you, although I was a trader before I joined
Yeah.
the crypto space. So the way I got connected with Avault is because I knew someone working for the tech, and he's like,
Mhm.
never seen something get traded that fast compared to like a traditional stock market. So that's
Nice.
yeah.
That's really cool. And so your background like wasn't traditionally crypto, and you would just kind of ended up diving full into it from that point, or?
Yeah, absolutely. So before I was kind of like a homemaker. So basically I trade, I do some day trading. So I definitely find some
Yep.
similarity between that. But also on the other hand, I quite enjoy the like benefits that crypto offers. For example,
Hmm.
your privacy is always maintained and some other interesting perks.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that when you mention I think there's vibes and feeling in the culture in particular that really, when I first started, made me want to stick around, and I still feel that way when I hear anything come across as like disrupt. And it feels nice to be a part of something different, something a lot bigger. So glad to be here and chat with you. Now let's dive back into apologies, Avault. So we know that. Sorry, I have something caught in my throat. Let me take a sip of water. Apologies, guys.
No worries.
So we know that Avault is a omni-chain yield platform. Could you give us more info into the sorry, I just stumbled my words. More info to the background of Avault. Can you let us know kind of where the idea spawned from? How long has this been cooking? Was it more of like in the spur of the moment, or something that kind of came together over a longer period of time?
Yeah, absolutely. So our main function is to help the users to achieve one-click bridge plus swap plus staking and auto compounding and maybe even copy trading, which is equivalent to the user that you only have to stay in the same Chrome tab and do all your stuff with. So you can deposit money into applications on other chains to gain yield and operate. And by
Mm-hmm.
using Avault, you can simplify the steps from gaining cross-chain yield from at least 6 steps down to 3. So you only have to think about your purpose when you're using the dApps and focus it on the strategy that really matters instead of worrying about the trivial things. No longer need to think about how I should use this application or how I could get to this chain. So we use a cross-chain messaging system and we automatically create a wallet on each chain, and then the user is the only one that get to sign that wallet. So actually from
Interesting.
Avault's perspective, we cannot alter any sort of transaction without the user. Well, actually only the user. So
Mhm.
yeah. So this can also break down the barriers between Web2 users like me and Web3 users. So as a traditional Web2 user, you only have to enter the blockchain with your purpose or asset, and then you can just enjoy the services. Because we all know that the learning curve might be quite steep.
It is
And
incredibly steep.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and also for project and ecosystem, maybe they're looking for a way to expand onto other chains and um, to connect with other public communities or ecological assets. Maybe they're seeking for a more convenient way to enter that sphere, and through Avault, they can do that quite easily.
Yeah, I like that outlook. I recently spoke with another project around Omnichain, and I think the idea of having a platform where someone can turn it on and not even realize that it's crypto, can just do A, B, C, simple with their money, and it's done and done. You mentioned a boutique, like a one-stop shop. I think that's the perfect way to describe it. You can hop onto the platform and really just do anything you need to do in that one space. I think that's what's going to break the barrier long term of mass adoption, in my opinion. So exciting to hear for sure when it comes to what you guys are working on. And with Avault, so when it comes to wanting to do all of these separate things and wanting to break this barrier, what would you say, if you're able to list it out, would be the problems that Avault is aiming to solve long term? Like, what is the value proposition for users?
Yeah, so we bring in several value props. So we know that in order to build a scalable application, with every extra click, you're actually losing users. And by providing a
Yep.
more humanitarian way to interact with your dApp, that's certainly a way for it to grow bigger. Because we know if the next bullish market is to come, certainly there's going to be a lot more new users entering the sphere. And I think having something that really helps them to navigate throughout the crypto sphere would be quite critical for us as a supportive community, and also for the new users, because they might not be willing to, or that the security problems, they're always finding more ways to scam people, which I'm
Yep,
not really
they are.
fond of. But things can get quite creative, and I'm really glad that we're doing something to help them out, sort of.
No, yeah, I agree. Not having to use like 40 different tabs to do your trading is like makes your experience so much safer, right? Because even someone who's if you want to call yourself, hyper experienced, right? Like even myself, having been in the space for like 3+ years now, sometimes you get complacent, right? And you have to go through multiple links. You have to do this and this, right? Maybe you're trading late, and you have to go to a separate platform. You accidentally click a phishing link, right? It's entirely possible for anybody. And so the less clicks, you're right, the safer it is overall. I completely agree.
Yeah, and
Um,
also timing. I just want to add to that with my personal experience. Like
yeah,
I always like to search stuff up and learn about them before I actually jump into action. But
yeah,
timing could be quite important in your market decision. And then by the time you actually learn all the knowledge necessary to
it's too
perform the
late.
trade, maybe the time has already passed. And sometimes you just want to do your stuff and then just profit, maybe.
No, I agree. I agree. Sometimes I like to spend the time to. I think when it comes to something more NFT related, I will be a little more lenient when it comes to research, just personally, because sometimes it depends. When we're in like a bull market, right? Some projects don't depend on like full fundamentals. Sometimes it depends on hype, and you are
Mhm.
taking like a little bit of a gamble. But when it comes to like specific tokens that are just more like, this is like a financial system that someone made and this is the token around it, right? Then it's like, okay, well, I need to understand this before I go into it, because understanding is what makes this have hype around specific people. So yeah, I completely agree. And a lot of the time it's like, if you're too busy, you don't get there in time, and then like everybody's already like 30% up, 30
Jump
forty
in.
percent up,
Yeah.
yeah, and you're just like, fuck, I'm too late. So I completely agree. um, and so my next question would be, in those value propositions and the problems you guys are aiming to solve, what would be some of the biggest obstacles that you see when you're going through these problems, and how do you plan to overcome these obstacles for Avault?
Yeah, so we actually spent quite some time deciding on which cross-chain SDK to integrate in our project. We basically talked to all of the existing SDK and protocols, such as Anycall, Wormhole, Seller, IM, Layerzero, etc.
Yeah.
And I think our tech actually spends like days just checking their doc and make a lot of communications connecting with the tech team. And it just seems like we could, or should I say, we were expecting more to be done, but right now we settled on Layerzero, just because they offered the most technical advantages and also some support in our development. But
Hmm.
that's quite tricky to navigate, because sometimes you want to offer the user as much options as they could. For example, some people may want to have a more economical approach, such as I want to spend at least gas fee as possible, whereas some people just want to get their transaction done as fast, as quickly as possible. And with the existing SDKs, maybe they're auto-locked, meaning that usually the bridge would do the decision for you, and then that's not very convenient. So that is one obstacle, but we are developing techs and solving that. Basically, our tech is working around the clock trying to resolve that problem, and hopefully it will get better.
Great. I love to hear that. I love to hear that you guys are hard at work around that area. We spend a lot of time with our product team and development working to make sure, that we can get over a lot of these obstacles we've had with like separate credentials, for example. It can be tough, yeah. But I just think honestly, when it comes to any obstacle, hard work will win in the end. So I completely agree with you. And so, my next question, we talked a little bit about safety for a second. When it comes to cross chain, a lot of users obviously the question is safety, right? So, how does Avault go above and beyond to prevent risk for users that are doing tasks cross chain?
Yeah, so needless to say, we audit our contract by a third party, and also to realize this, I think Avault is just a storefront. So
Yeah.
in reality, the security risk lies mostly in the dApps that users choose to interact. However, as as Avault team considers, we usually
Mhm.
collaborate with the project that are in the dominant position. So either they have the most users or they have the most rep in the field. And also, our mechanism allows that the user to retain the native asset in the dApp. So they're always going to have their asset either before the chain or after the chain. It is only a risk when the bridges got hacked, but even that, they can always choose another bridge. So it's
Exactly. Yeah.
rather on the architecture level. But yeah, in a nutshell.
Yeah, there are always like unavoidable pieces that can come across, but just taking the safest route and trying to work with the safest people is the best you can do. I completely agree, and it's a good way to look at things. But at the same time, everybody also has to understand that in using separate apps, etc. Just always make sure you double check, guys. Be extra safe is at the end of the day. So, and Edmund, my other question for you in particular is when it comes to OmniChain, how far along do you think we are in sort of the more of the development area? Do you still think we're in the very infantile stages? Um, you know, when it comes to the future of OmniChain, are you excited? Do you feel confidence that the competitors to Avault are measuring up to the task? Because I know, in my opinion, competition breeds success.
Yeah, I would like to think that we're still very young, although not like infant. I would like to think as a teenager,
Yeah.
uh, because we're still seeing many new exciting projects appearing every day. So
Mhm.
and also we know that while we have so many different chains that are trying to build their own ecosystem, in order to make them really like the users as a liquid, they have to collaborate with each other in order to gain that community traction. So my views are quite positive about the future of OmniChain, especially that I'm working in a project that promotes the OmniChain future.
Yeah, I love to hear that. It's nice to. It's funny. Every OmniChain project that I've spoken to is incredibly passionate about OmniChain for the future. So, but you got to be right if to be in such a competitive space, right? So it's very exciting. And so coming towards the end of our discussion today, when it comes to Avault, do you have any bits and pieces of maybe upcoming news or updates that you can share with us today?
Yeah, so our team is working on a new function called copy trading. Basically, allows the
Nice.
users to see what the whale or the smart money is doing in the market. So some people may not have so many trading experiences, but they could choose to copy the exact move that those whales make in the market, and then they can just follow along. So basically, that's something we would like to do, and also we would like to integrate some social aspect to that. So maybe you made a great profit and we would want you to share on Twitter about your profit. So basically some social element about that.
Amazing. That's really exciting to hear. I think copy trading is a really interesting route that I think hasn't fully reached its potential yet. So I'm excited to see what you guys have brought to the table there. And very quickly before we go to the end here, we have a little bit of, I guess, feedback in the chat, in the radio chat, um, about staking fees on the Avault platform. Yesterday, I deposited $11. I didn't see any information that I would be charged $3 for the possibility of staking. if you can you see the radio chat, Edmund?
Yes, I could. So we understand the chat fee is just a bit higher at the moment, but that's because we have a huge influx of addresses by collaborating with you guys. So basically, our staking amount right now is
Yes.
around 2 million USDT, and over 20,000 addresses I think interacted with us within a week. So we will try to resolve those problems. Just drop us a DM in Twitter or in our Discord space. It will be solved. So please stay tuned.
Amazing. Thank you for the quick and prompt support. It's very helpful. And yeah, guys, any bits and pieces of support or help you need with Avault, make sure you head over to their socials. We also have the link to the Avault campaign that we're going to drop in the chat in a bit as well. But with that, we'll come to the end of the AMA portion. Edmund or Eddie, I guess either or works, but
Yeah.
do you have any final words you want to say for everybody listening right now?
Not me, but I would like everyone to know that our team said Galxe is the most butter smooth thing that they have ever used to launch an NFT campaign. But other
Thank
than
you
that,
so much.
that's all from me.
You're the best. I appreciate you guys coming on. It was a very interesting discussion. You're incredibly well spoken. So I super appreciate you coming on. Every time I go through one of these, I learn a bit more myself, and I think listening to you speak today was definitely the most clear that Omnichain has come across. So it's very nice. So thank you again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate you coming on. Everybody, check out Avault. We have the link to the campaign in the chat there from Ilya. Super appreciate it, guys. Make sure you check it out. You heard the numbers, like 20,000 new people. Don't be late is what I got to say to you. So thank you, Eddie, for coming on. We're going to stay on for a bit longer, myself and the people, but we're going to take a small music break for a moment, and then we will come back. So Ilya, you can play us out, and Eddie, you can head out for today. Get some more sleep. I know it's early, so.
Oh, no worries. Once I'm awake, it can't be undone. So have a nice day, everyone.
Thanks again. You too.